Liverpool 4, Leicester 0, top of the league. Let's build a bridge for everybody else to get near. Because at the moment, it's mad. It's mad. Oh my God. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And you know what? This is a video to talk about the game, but also recap the weekend and what's gone down this weekend. I can't tell you, I didn't think I'd ever be in a situation where I would see Liverpool be in a campaign at halfway through, come Christmas time, New Year's, and be that far ahead at the top of the league with things sliding in their favour. Dare to dream?
It's Friday then. Bro, oh my God. Oh my God. We slapped up Leicester City, bro. Slapped up Leicester City. I never expected that, bro.
I never
ever.
expected it.
Never ever. That's probably one of the best Liverpool performances. Well, no, this year alone, this season, 100% Liverpool's best performance. I don't think nothing
Hands
comes close.
down.
Last season there'll be some other ones that probably test it, but that was hands down, bro. Like you said.
The performance that we saw against Man City when we beat them this season was a very good performance. But even then, it was like, whew, to hold on. This was just, it's like cruise control. It's like, you know when you start, you just... That's what it felt like. Madness.
Bro, before we go into the team, the Liverpool performance and all that kind of stuff, I want to nip this in the bud, right? People talking about this penalty. Schmeichel. The people, who's in the box talking? McManaman, Dixon and them, man. What are you talking about, bro? First of all, Leicester City had 0 shots on goal. You're playing at home, you got 0 shots on goal, and you're trying to tell me that the so-called penalty decision that you don't agree with had something to do with the game. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here, bro. Is that a penalty for you? Is that not a penalty?
That's a penalty. That is a penalty.
Stonewall.
I know that people are gonna, people are gonna throw it back in our faces about Liverpool, Man City, Trent, Alexander-Arnold. That was a handball. What's the difference? So on and so forth. This guy has leaned towards the ball with his arm. He's actually, what's happened is, yeah, and I said this is what I said when I saw it. What he's done is there, and people who play football will, I'm hoping will agree with me on this. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You're just thinking, you're seeing if I can get away with it or not. If you look what he's done, he's basically gone across like that, leaned in. Oh my God, it annoys me thinking about it. He's not like he's pulled his hand away from it. He hasn't. What he's done, he's leaned in with his arm. He's lunged at it. You've lunged. You know what you're doing when you lunge at something. You know exactly what you're doing. You can't then tell me. He's actually thought to himself, I need to get something on this. The only thing that I can do is my arm. Because he knows that there's people behind him. He's made a mistake, right?
Exactly.
That's why I think he's made a mistake, but he doesn't want to own up to the fact that it's a mistake. But it's easier as a defense mechanism to say it's not my fault. That's what it's easy to do. Now for me, he's like, oh yeah, it's a split second between here and there. Schmeichel's, annoyed about it. Listen, I'm not buying it. That for me is a penalty, and it's a shame because that, it's not a shame. If Leicester think that is the reason they got beat 4-0, they got problems. They got wholesale problems.
Yeah, like you said there, anyone who's played football, they know it's one of them ones where you've made an error, you think, shit, and you think, you know what, I'm gonna try and get away with it. Like you said, look, a handball, that means that what? Just because your hands are behind your back, so you can go like this and just go place your hand on the ball. No, it don't. It just like you said, it was for me. Like I couldn't believe that. Like you said, if you played football, you've got McManaman there, you've got Dixon there, you've got Thierry Henry there, and the conversation was still going on and on. It's actually winding me up. It's like, what are we doing here? But like I said, I want to nip that quickly in the bud because that was it was just something that I wanted to get off my chest. It was just bullshit.
I'd love to ask people who've seen that, and not even if you've played football or not. It's just natural. If you look at the way he's gone at the ball, it's nothing. You could turn around and say, oh, it's unnatural or whatever. Nah, it's not. That what he's done is lean at the ball to try and get something on it and realise that my arms are closest, and if I do this, then I might get away with it. But you're still leaning. You're moving. There's a movement toward the ball. There's a movement toward the ball with your arm. So, yeah, I can't see there's too much problems with that. And soz about the first touch, Milner. Oh.
Listen, we'll go back to it again. Yeah, Liverpool now, we try and pick out players that have played really well. That for the whole team, it was perfection, literally perfection. You see sometimes you see mistakes, you see errors. Every player was on it. You wouldn't even tell that they went to Qatar, right? You can tell that it was Christmas the day before. That's what I'm saying. Like, they were just so on it. And hats off to the players and Klopp as well. Like, Gini came in, he was fully rested. Gini was literally bossing it in midfield. Henderson, Kate, all these guys here, what they did as a midfield unit, the way they worked together, it was unbelievable, and it made the life of defence so easy.
I think if you look at it from a tactical perspective, which is what I was trying to figure out, was that Leicester, and this is Brendan's team's play. We play out from the back, we play. But they didn't press Liverpool up the pitch. I didn't find that they were pressing Liverpool really high. Now, when they kept giving the ball away, Liverpool were relentless in their press, which is again, with everything that's happened, all the games that they've played, to be that intense was just out of this world. But Leicester gave the ball away 3 or 4 times, just passed the ball out, kicked it off, passes were going astray, and they weren't pressing Liverpool. At what point did Brendan not think, you know what, let's play in their half, and with what we've got, our biggest asset is Vardy, and pacing behind and force the error. It's the pitch is wet, it's slick surface, let's let them make the mistakes. So I would have thought he was going to say, you know what, let's not try and play out, let's clip and play in their half and press in their half. Right? At no point did that change. We're going to play. This is our. I get that, but sometimes it does have to change. Liverpool, on the other hand, were like, right, we are going to play in their half. We're going to dominate the ball when we've got it, and then we're going to look to play in their half and press them real high and be relentless in your press. And I just thought that Leicester, after about 10 minutes, looked like we should have been 2 up within a minute.
Yeah. The misses in the first 5 minutes was.
And that's something else to talk about. But from a tactics perspective, they tried to get Tielemans on the ball at every opportunity because he makes them tick. They played Maddison from the left, which was ridiculous because the guy has been playing in a 10. So he's tried so much, and I get that Liverpool are top of the league, so Brendan's tried to compensate for that and try and adjust, and he felt they would have been too lightweight in midfield if he played at 10. That's his own problems to deal with, yeah? But Tielemans is your ball player. The way Wijnaldum did not let him play at all for 90 minutes, for me, is why, we'll talk about it later, but I'll put it out there now. My man of the match was Wijnaldum, hands down, by a mile. By a mile. He didn't let Tielemans get on the ball. If Tielemans starts ticking, you got problems.
Vardy who, bruv? Vardy who? I was waiting for Van Dijk and Vardy to go head to head. It didn't happen. Gomez, another great performance. You know what I'm saying from that game. You could just literally go across the whole team and say how good the performance was. Naby, a beautiful ball through to Salah as well that he missed. That was, I think, it was the only thing was frustrating this game once again, is that we're talking about Salah frustrating us. And we were saying to each other, I guarantee you Salah's going to hit a top bin somewhere because he was missing some chances. And once again, decision maker wasn't on. But apart from that, I think, if you look at across the whole board, performances were mad. Bobby Firmino. We still say this every single week. People that doubt Bobby Firmino. Someone said to us the other day, oh, Bobby Firmino's finally coming to the party. He's been good for the last 3-4 games. He's finally scoring some goals. What games have you been watching? He's been doing this what he's been doing with Liverpool is just nuts, and now it's just ice on the cake. What he's been doing now.
Don't get me wrong. I think someone said it. What more can Bobby Firmino do? And I'm like, well, I think you said it actually. You asked me.
It was me, yeah.
And I goes, well, what you could do is tuck 30 goals a season in the Prem. Yeah, but that's that's dream world, because I know that if we want someone to go and tuck 30 goals, you potentially go and get Timo Werner just for argument's sake. Then you don't have someone who's going to link up the midfield and the forward play. Someone who's not selfish, someone who can play assists, someone who can, defensively be as good as he is, start counter-attacks. So it depends. Be careful what you wish for. If you wish to get somebody else in that's going to tuck 30 goals, but yet you concede 35 because we're not defending as a collective, then you lose. You're losing. So for me, I'm sure I'd love to hear it from other fans. I know that we've got quite a few different teams, people that follow this channel. At the Liverpool front 3 or the Liverpool team, what would be the top 3 players that you take from to add to your side? Personally, I would have thought it would be Alisson, Van Dijk, and Firmino, or potentially Mane. So maybe Van Dijk, Mane, and Firmino.
We literally got players across the board, bro. We've literally got players across the board that you.
And Trent.
Trent pretty much took all the accolades, not accolades, but all the praise, should I say, for that game.
And for me, he started poor. He didn't start great. He got shot off really early doors, and I know that. But there was a few things that he done. Gave the ball away ridiculously, but don't assess the guy's performance after 10 minutes. Give him 90 minutes, and that's what you get. Assists, goal, and just a threat. And you know what? I've said this for a while. I don't rate Ben Chilwell. I'm not a Ben Chilwell fan, right? For me, get Sessegnon ready. Whenever he's ready to play for England, get him in. Persevere with Luke Shaw, because I don't rate this Chilwell cat. He got his pants pulled down yesterday in such a way that it was just actually like you realise that you're not at the level. You're not at the level of these other guys. And that's my personal opinion. I know you rate Chilwell. Not for me.
That's what I'm saying. I think Chilwell's not a bad player, but what I'm saying is you can't judge these players on his one performance. Like, we know Vardy is a baller, really, right? I'm saying Vardy who, but Vardy's a baller. Everyone talks about Ndidi, right? Where was Ndidi, right? And Maddison played outside from where he should be. Tillemans, all these guys here, people talk really high of. One thing we both agree on though, the centre back for Leicester,
Soyuncu.
He's a solid defender.
I would love to end of this season. I'm gonna do mine and you do yours. 1 to 11. You know, tops outside the top 4 potentially players outside the top 4. Chances are Leicester will be in it, and so will Wolves by the way things are going. But Adama Traore, yeah, Soyuncu, that guy is actually nuts.
No,
yeah,
he's a very good player.
And Ricardo, the other fullback, Leicester's right back. I like that guy.
But Salah was trying to outgas Matey. He couldn't even outgas him. That's very rare that to happen. Do you know what I mean? Henderson, another solid performance of Henderson again.
Absolutely.
On job.
Absolutely.
On job. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone talks about how good the defense are and how good the attack was, but that engine, the way it worked for me with that 3, it was very, very good. I think.
So what was who would be your man of the match?
Boy,
Trent's got to be up there. Firmino's was.
It seems to be that everyone's giving it to Trent. Like,
And I got no problems with that. No problems with that.
But I think some of the work that's been going on, it's getting missed by some of the finishing and all that kind of stuff. I know everyone says finishing is the hardest thing to do, right? So I guess I got to give it to Trent because of that. But like you said earlier, I would love to give it to Gini.
For me, it was Wijnaldum. Because to not let Tillemans play, yeah, was biggest thing for us because that he makes them tick. And to keep picking the pockets of Ndidi, mate, for me, that guy yesterday, that rest has done him good. And I think he did need it. Well, he looks like he needed it. But when he came back yesterday, whoa, so on job. And the man like Verge, listen, I know we keep saying it, but we can't get bored of saying it because you don't know what you got till it's gone. Yeah, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Remember that, because if he ever moves on, we're going to be half the team.
And it's the same thing with Robertson. You see, what I'm saying, his name don't get mentioned.
Yeah.
But the things that he was doing, we were literally looking at each other, thinking, that's unbelievable. You know, little passions of play there, how he steals the ball, he gets back, and how he reads the game.
Ball came over the top, took it on his thigh, and just stuck it back on the channel. Just like,
even then when Trent made a mistake, it was him covering up. Do you know what I mean? The way he reads the game, it's just.
So I wanted to leave it. I wanted to wrap this up by asking to ask a question. It was asked to me. We've seen lots of memes about it and gifs and whatever you want to call them. But it was Salah's statistics, Torres' statistics, and Suarez' statistics. And I think the question you asked was, what was it that you said something about? Is Salah better than Suarez and Torres? And
well, the argument came up because there was frustration of what Salah was doing in the game, and then we were saying that if you put Suarez in this team.
So you're saying that Salah's statistics are better than Suarez's statistics,
and
right?
Torres'
Torres' statistics. Yeah. And my answer to that straight away, because I wasn't having it, and I said, but did you see some of the shit that Suarez had to play with and still make them numbers and single-handedly almost took Liverpool to the title? Single-handedly, and obviously we all know what happened there. Now, I'm not denying that Salah is unbelievable, because he is unbelievable. But the two things I would say, right, and I'm not, this sounds like I'm being a negative, I'm not, right, because I wouldn't want to trade him with anybody at the moment, personally. That front three, as frustrating as it can get, because if you remember correctly, this is what Mane was like a few seasons ago. He was frustrating, but he came good. This guy will just, it swings and roundabouts. But the 2 points is, for me, if you put Suarez in this team now, it'd be madness. Would Salah have the same impact in that team? Obviously, I know it's always some buts and maybes in that, but if you put Suarez in this team now, I think the numbers he would score would be astronomical, and I stand by that wholeheartedly. But if you put Salah into that team, would he have the same effect? That's the question you're going to ask yourself, right? And the other thing was, from my personal perspective, I'm actually starting to see why people were like, oh, well, Mourinho's not a great manager because he can't bring through youth and all this sort of stuff. Now, at the time that Mourinho had Salah in his ranks, Salah had to go away to become a good finisher. He had to leave Chelsea to score some goals and whatever, to then come back to now be as frustrating as he is, for Liverpool. Still misses a lot of chances. Decision making is still off. How do you expect a Salah at that age, who's probably going to be more wasteful than he is now, to take the place of I can't think with Drogba, Malouda, and who's the other wide man? Hazard was in there, I would have thought, or whatever. Lampard, all them sort of players. How are you going to have someone like that come in and you can persevere with them? So I think sometimes you've got to take a step back and say it's easy to bash Mourinho and say whatever, but De Bruyne had to go to Wolfsburg and Salah had to go into Europe to a couple of different teams to find who he is as a player. At Chelsea, they obviously weren't ready. So I'm starting to think, if we're getting frustrated now with Salah, who is close to being the finished product, imagine what it would have been like with under Mourinho. Mourinho's probably realised that you're not going to get in ahead of the three that I've got. I think Anelka was knocking about, Drogba was there, Malouda, all these guys. Malouda, say what you want. He was on job when he was at Chelsea. So that's what, and I'd love to ask that to people that view. What are your thoughts on that? At the Suarez and debate, and also Salah, the frustrations, and where do you think that leaves him when he was at Chelsea?
So until then, the next game is now Wolves on Sunday at 4:30. So let us know your views on this video for sure. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and comment. Peace.